Well, hello,
What
everyone.
up, everybody?
Welcome.
Welcome, and how is everybody doing tonight?
Doing good, yeah.
This is the Burly Bros show. I am Beardculez, and as always, I have Dirty Dan and Dirty Mike with me.
What's up?
Burly Bros is a weekly video podcast streamed live Monday nights on Twitch and uploaded to YouTube.
Is that a question mark on the
Yeah.
prompter?
Exactly.
On Twitch?
I told you to stop putting those there, man.
He will read
Jeez.
anything you put down.
Everything that's on there.
Anything.
Stream
Anyways.
So Monday nights live on Twitch and uploaded to YouTube, Spotify, and everywhere podcasts are sold.
Yeah, on this show, we like to talk about beer, video games, funny shit, stuff we see in the news, and all the weird stuff on the internet. We love to ask questions like, am I a bitch? And, just
Life's
whatever.
hard-hitting questions.
All of
Yeah.
life's hard-hitting questions. Mostly, we're going to talk about if Drake's a bitch tonight.
God damn
Yeah.
it.
Or Beardculez.
Beardculez.
I'll cut
Anyways.
that out. No, I won't.
If you're watching or listening on a later date, don't forget to follow us on twitch.tv /Burly Bros and give us a watch and
Yeah.
stick around for the Just Chatting afterwards.
Tell a friend. Yeah,
Tell
we
a
do
friend.
we do a Just Chatting after every episode where we get to talk to everybody that watches live on Twitch, so don't miss out on that. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
So-
please follow.
Question of the day is we're doing Pilsners today, which is a pretty common first beer for everyone. So
That'd be my first. No. Well, yeah, most people's first beer.
Yeah.
or at least a pretty popular one just in general. So what was your guys' first beer or first, I guess, alcoholic drink?
Yes. Yep.
We'd like to know. Leave a comment below. Drop it into the Twitch chat or on YouTube or anywhere you're listening to this later. So, yeah, we're already going to be talking about Pilsners tonight. We decided we were going to do a night where we just test out some of our favorite Pilsners or different Pilsners. Maybe we've had two
Well,
out of
I
the
wouldn't go far
three, I
as
think,
favorite
tonight.
Pilsners, but
Pilsner's not my favorite
They
drink,
are
but we picked some pretty
they
good
are
Pilsners.
Pilsners.
hopefully.
They are Pilsners.
Yes.
We found them.
We found Pilsners, yes.
which was a lot harder
They're
than we
scarce.
thought.
I honestly,
They're very
like,
scarce in the craft world.
going into this, I'm like, well, Pilsner is like the,
Well, not the basic Pilsners, at least.
That's
yeah,
what I
that's
said,
what,
going
that's
into
what
the
I meant, though.
craft world, like-
I expected, because you have your basic Pilsners, your top three domestics. You got Miller, Coors, and Bud Light. And I'm like, well, Pilsners are pretty common. You got PBR, stuff like that. I thought that finding something that wasn't a normal domestic Pilsner would
Yeah.
be easier than it is, and it's not.
No, it was
not.
It was a real scavenger.
We all went to a
hunt.
couple different
Liquor stores, yeah.
stores to find a Pilsner that wasn't your top
And
domestics.
some bought beers that he thought were Pilsners that ended up not being.
Yeah.
I did, yeah. I
Yep,
bought
that
one
happened.
I thought was a Pilsner, and then I'm like, I'm going to look this up, and it's not. It was like a rice lager. Anyway, a little bit different.
That's
so
a negative.
What is a Pilsner exactly?
It
Dirty
is.
Dan?
A magical blend of barley, hops, and delicious alcohol.
That's what a Pilsner
it's
is.
A good,
No.
It's a good answer. Yeah. So
Oh, but no, Dirty Dan's gonna give us a legitimate.
we're gonna learn about
The
Pilsner
dirtiest
tonight.
of
We're gonna
the
give you
dirty.
guys some facts and some knowledge to go home with.
But please continue, Dirty Dan.
Go ahead.
But you were close with the lager type because a Pilsner is a type of lager brewed in the German tradition that increases the amount of hops used. So it's just a bit more hoppier lager.
Okay.
They originate back to the Czech town of Pilsen. I believe it was like the 1800s was the first time it was brewed,
Makes sense.
as it was part of the German-Austrian Empire back in the day. So
Gotcha.
That's where it started. So while they were a popular, while lagers were a popular brew at the time, they wanted something a little more flavorful. So there was more demand for a strong tartness that was not quite as common back in the day.
Gotcha.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't
Makes
know
sense.
that.
Yeah. And nowadays it's pretty popular across the world, and it's one that I feel like everyone drinks at least once in their life.
Yeah,
yeah.
I was telling you guys this earlier about this book I started reading. It's like everything you need to know about beer, I think is what it's called. I could drop a link of the book in the description of the show notes and all that stuff later. But I thought it was interesting because they were talking about how most people's first beer in America was a Pilsner because you grew up with, like I said, Coors and Miller Lite and Bud Light and all that stuff. And I was curious about that, and they were talking about craft beer and kind of the difference of like Prohibition. How after Prohibition, a lot of beers, like a lot of American tradition in beer, just kind of went away.
Oh, really?
And then you had, because they, I don't remember how long Prohibition was, but they basically, all of the traditions, like
long.
Sam Adams, way too long. More than a day's too long. But like Sam Adams and all these like great lagers and all these different types of stuff that we were making here, pretty much went away, like the IPAs, all the different lagers and stuff. And then you just, after Prohibition, kind of had the big three come up, and that was where Americans just wanted to have beer again. They just wanted to get drunk.
Give
they didn't
me
care what
my
it tasted
beer.
like. And even in the 80s, there was only, I think it was like in the mid-80s, there was only about 50 microbrews in the whole United States.
Jeez.
Which is mind-blowing, because there's like 50 microbrews within 50 miles of my house.
Yeah, no shit.
Now. So, yeah, it's pretty different times. So, anyway, just a little interesting tidbit I was thinking about this week.
Interesting.
So do you guys want to go into some beer review and get these
let's
get these
do this.
Pilsners tested out? All right.
Beer is good. Now with 50% more alcohol.
All right.
More alcohol.
So what are we starting with tonight, Beardculez?
All right. Well, I can't even really pronounce the name of this.
It's
Lagunitas.
let me yeah.
I
I can't tell if it's Lagunitas or Laguntas, but it has the I, so I think it might be Lagunitas.
don't know. It's a pills. That's the name of it. It's a Czech style pills.
All right.
Not really a whole lot of information on it. That's about it. That's all
It's just
you need
got
to
that
know.
weird creed on the outside.
Yeah, it's got that. I'm not going to go through that because
Yeah,
that took
that's
a
all
minute. But yeah, it's just good old Czech style pills, which Dirty Dan just said that's where Pilsners started anyway. So
Yeah.
oh shit, don't
So,
take the mic out with it.
Just from the first initial smell of this, it smells exactly like a Miller or something like that.
It's a little bit more skunkier.
Yeah, it's a skunky. I feel like a lot of Pilsners are kind of skunky.
Yeah. All right, let's see what this tastes like.
Yeah, it's pretty basic. It doesn't taste too bad.
It's not terrible.
It's a little skunky, but it's also kind of smooth.
It's got more hoppy notes at the end.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a little hoppy and it's got kind of a fuzz, like a fizzy kind of mouthfeel to it a little bit. It's not bad.
I think still I'd stick with my Miller Lite over this.
Yeah, it's really bubbly. I've noticed. Like it's really
It's very
It smells
carbonated.
definitely a lot stronger, like you guys were talking about.
Yeah. Not that it's bad, but if I'm gonna drink a Pilsner, I'd almost rather have my Miller Lite over that.
yeah, it's all right.
But we still got two more to check out, so
Yeah, so we got this one. You can explain this one.
This one is from a local brewing company. It's called
Love that sound.
Peninsula Pills. We hold our Michigan summers close to our hearts, whether it's sand dunes or sandbars, East Coast or West Coast. We drink it down and ask for seconds. So we created the perfect companion for those fleeting moments that only Michiganders can call their own. Peninsula Pills is the closest we've come to canning a summer day. It's a fresh, cold swig of sunshine you can enjoy any time of the year. Hell, we know the warm days in Michigan are numbered, but luckily cans of Peninsula Pills are not.
All right. Yeah.
well,
so
thank
this
you,
does-
Nowadays.
Lansing.
Thank you, Lansing Brewing Company. This comes from, like we said, a local brewing, local microbrew that we really enjoy. I think I've had this one once before. So
Yeah, I think I've only had it
I'm not
once
sure if
also.
I've had this one yet.
yeah, I like their cream ale. a
Oh, I
lot.
just got the foam on my
I
nose.
was gonna
The
say,
foam on my nose.
get it all up in the stash, right? That is a better Pilsner.
No, that I could drink all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah,
I
that's
like that a
definitely-
lot
That is
better.
good.
Yeah, the
You remember the
Lagunitas
skunkiness?
is a little more. I could pass that one up, but this one actually has a little bit of flavor.
I'm gonna take
to it.
another swig at that. That was
Yeah.
damn good.
It's like a
I never know how to
Michigan day.
describe Pilsners, but I do. I feel like this would be a great summer beer, for sure.
Yeah.
they told us.
That's
Yep.
what they said. They didn't fucking lie.
I really have never been disappointed in anything Lansing Brewing Company makes. So I got to tell you guys this story real quick. So Beardculez hates gin. I like gin,
I fucking hate gin.
but I love
hate
gin.
gin.
And they make a drink down there called the sweet and sour.
Sweet and
it's
salty.
Like a, sweet and salty.
Sweet
yeah,
and
it's like a
salty.
gin.
Although I'm not sure if they do that anymore.
yeah, the
they
last
did.
time
They did for a while, but they make their own gin there.
Yes, they do. They
And,
do make
uh,
their
Actually, I
own
don't know if
gin.
they make their gin there, but it's definitely a local.
Oh, it's not made there? Okay.
It could be bad at other place. I don't know. Anyways, doesn't matter.
I thought that
doesn't
they
matter.
made it there, but anyway, they have gin that you can buy there that has their name on it. Which I know that like with whiskeys, they're not usually always made at the place. They're usually just bottled there. And anyway, but they have this drink called the sweet and salty, and even Beardculez loves it. It's
Oh,
like
I
it's like a
love it.
marshmallow gin,
Caramely.
caramel.
Oh my
it's so
gosh.
good.
It's delicious.
It's
And their
delicious.
cream ale is out of every cream ale I've ever had, it's my favorite.
Oh, they have good cream
Yeah.
ale. Very good cream ale.
I've also had one of their box, and I thought that was pretty good too.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What's the other one? Their IPA, the Mayor IPA.
There's the mayor, the angry mayor,
Yeah, Angry Mayor. Yep.
and I feel
Oh,
like they
shit.
like
Also, their food is just
they
fantastic.
took a step down because it went from angry mayor, and I know the new mayor's beer is like really soft sounding.
Yeah.
So it was like angry mayor to like
I can't remember.
So
I know what
like,
you're
I'm
talking
just gonna
about.
get reelected. I'm just gonna be quiet and get
no, it's
reelected.
a different dude, but they
Yeah,
just
yeah.
it's definitely they're not like they definitely don't think it's highly.
He's not angry tweeting on the shitter at 3 a.m. All right,
What's wrong with him?
What's wrong with that? I do that. So
That's one of my
this is
best
one that
angry tweets
from
come
what
out.
I remember, and I've had this one before. This from what I remember is my favorite Pilsner
one?
I've ever had.
Work with
And
the
maybe
green
I won't
screen?
be maybe it won't be as great as I think, but yeah, we need to get a close up cam soon. We're working on it because this can it's hard to see. It's just a beautiful can. This comes from Bell's. It's called Lager of the Lakes, and it is a Bohemian Pilsner. I don't think it says a whole lot about it. It says refreshingly crisp as refreshingly. Can
you speak?
No,
I do.
English is a
Right.
third language. to me.
Deep,
Deep, deep. A refreshingly crisp as a morning swim in the Great Lakes. This golden lager sparks through of sandy beaches and freshwater islands. So let's try this out. This was, from what I remember, this is my favorite Pilsner. So let's see.
Not the dog tag one?
Oh, the dog tag was good. Yeah.
All right, here it goes down the bottom.
Yeah, that's a little more skunky, but it's still smooth. It's got a good flavor. I don't know. I might actually prefer the Lansing Brewing.
It's good,
Yeah,
but I like the
I like the
Lansing one.
Peninsula.
But
I gotta try this again.
Victory is mine,
I like the
everybody.
Lansing one.
See, that's how you just bring it
Okay,
out.
so
You gotta just throw it out there, man. You can't just wait for people to.
yeah,
acknowledge.
last week I feel like I
Yeah.
totally won, and no one ever mentioned it because I didn't bring it up. But that red rye IPA we had last week was the best one last week. So I got to take my victory at one time. I will hand it to Dirty Dan this time. The Lansing Brewing Company. That's the best Pilsner today.
Yep,
I think
that's
for
good.
sure. Yeah.
Damn good that Lansing.
So if you
one.
guys are looking for some good Pilsners that are not your standard, overly skunky, watered down piss beer, these are actually pretty good.
I love my
Piss
piss
water.
beer. Fuck
yeah,
you.
no, I'm just
I'm
saying.
joking.
So
All
anyway, let's get into the main topic of today.
More
while we're
beer.
drinking these beers, and it all has to do with beer.
That's a beer night.
It's just all beer.
Beer
all
night
beer
in
and
America.
Beer news.
A magical blend of barley, hops, and delicious alcohol.
That's all it
Yes.
is tonight.
So hold on one second. I got a little something for you guys. We are going to be talking about because today is President's Day. We are going to be talking about
God.
the president's favorite drinks. So we're going to go through all 52 of America's presidents, and we are going to be telling you what they enjoyed the most out of beer, wine, all the barley, hops, and delicious alcohol you can think of. So hail to the chief, people.
And their alcohol.
And their alcohol. Or lack thereof in
Well,
some
yeah,
cases.
true. Lack thereof.
Yeah, we will get into that as well. All right. So starting off with our first and possibly greatest president of all time, George Washington. He actually, his favorite drink, would you guys like to take a guess?
Is it something to do with cherries? Because I know you like to
That
chop them
actually would be a
basses
good,
down.
that would actually be a good guess, but no.
I'm gonna go gin. He's gonna
Ooh.
he's gonna old
Ooh.
school.
No, George Washington is a man after my own heart. He prefers dark porters.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Good choice.
Oh, nice.
So according to, and all this stuff is coming from a historian, Will Weber. So you'll hear that name a lot.
What's his favorite beer?
I don't know, but
Damn you, Will.
Will's just talking about other people. He's not doing an autobiography tonight. Will Weber, Washington. According to Will Weber, Washington sold whiskey made near Mount Vernon, but probably rarely, if ever, drank it.
Never get high on your own supply.
Yeah, exactly.
high in your own supply. That's 101.
Rather than the hard stuff, the first president of the United States loved dark porter beers, which he would lace with molasses. That
What?
sounds good. Yeah,
Got to make it sweeter.
yeah, for sure.
I'm down.
Dark porter molasses beers.
I'm down.
I like it. Yeah,
Let's do it.
And he sold his whiskey off to other people so he could afford to drink his true
As much
passion.
beer as he wants.
Yes, as much beer as he
I
wanted.
mean, you can drink a lot more beer than you can whiskey with getting
Yes.
not get fucked up.
I also feel like tonight's going to be a history lesson for you guys because we're going to match every president with their favorite drink, and maybe you guys will remember some
And you won't
presidents. that
remember
none
any
of us,
presidents
None
whatsoever.
of us remember.
There's George Washington. There's Abraham Lincoln.
Yep.
Yep.
And
There's the black guy, Barry or something. That's about all I remember. There's that saxophone player from the 90s.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
what's his name? Slick Willie.
Slick Willie. That's
Slick
right.
Willie.
Yeah. Anyway, so honestly, I have a hard time
His Willie
remembering
was
all the
slick, too,
presidents.
so-
It was.
I can remember like
And so was his cigar tubes.
Teddy Roosevelt. I don't remember Teddy.
Nobody got that joke. Nobody knows the cigar thing? No. Okay. Nope. Monica Lewinsky? Anyway.
Just move on.
Yep. Let's move on. Somebody will get it and they'll be laughing out there. All right. So,
That one person.
President number 2, John Adams. His preferred drink was hard cider.
Oh, I was gonna say Samuel Adams.
No, John Adams.
I'll take
John
some
Adams.
Sam Jackson.
Yeah. He was jealous over the Sam Adams. Like, I wish I would have came up with that first.
Anyways,
By all
Hard ciders are good.
accounts,
That's not a bad choice.
yeah. By all accounts, the second president of the United States loved his alcohol. In fact, he started almost every morning with a hard cider.
Starting the day. That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's how you
exactly.
should start the day. It's
Yeah,
like
I mean,
apple juice.
Got the weight of the world on your shoulders. You might as well have a little drink.
It's like apple juice.
Adams, who was portrayed by actor Paul Giamatti in an HBO miniseries, also drank porter beer, rum, and copious
Wine,
amounts
something.
of Madeira. I cannot pronounce this, and it keeps coming up in all these.
Ian?
Madeira. It's some kind of Spanish wine. So Madeira.
Yuck.
Medea.
Medea, that sounds about right.
Medea goes to prison. Something like
Medea
that.
goes to prison.
All
was
right.
was he like a Angry Orchard, or was he, what was his preferred?
He was, I don't know.
I doubt those were back then.
I'm guessing.
I think it was more of a
probably just-
homemade.
Yeah. I'm guessing he probably just made his own.
Picked the apples and just left them.
It was actually just an accident. He made apple cider.
He was a lazy apple picker. Let's just put it that way.
I'll get around to it.
Yeah.
I'll get
It's
around
like, oh,
to it.
shit.
Oh, they fell on the ground. Fuck
You
it.
probably just put buckets under the trees and they just fall into the buckets and ferment. And you'd be like, yeah, that's
All right, good enough.
I'll drink this rotten swill.
All right, I'm just gonna stomp on this and pour the juice out. It's
Good
gonna be
enough
great.
for me. Yeah, it was feet cider.
Feet cider.
All right. So president number 3, Thomas Jefferson. His preferred drink was wine.
Boring.
Yeah.
Lame
Thomas Jefferson
sauce.
said in 1818 that in nothing have the habits of the palate more decisive influence than in our relish of wines.
What a pretentious douchebag.
I know, right? The site also states that Jefferson developed a taste for the fine wines in his younger years when visiting vineyards in Burgundy and Bordeaux, France. Of course, Jefferson. What a douche! What a pretentious douchebag!
Could this fucker fit through a doorway with as big as his head
He
was?
was actually, yeah, as big as his head was. Yeah, for sure.
Jesus.
So yeah, I don't know.
Let's see this. Let's see this fuck.
Yeah, let me throw a picture up for anybody who doesn't know what Thomas Jefferson looks like.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
look at this pretentious.
Look at that fucker.
Look at that chin, that glass chin.
He
of his.
He just has that. Even in his pain, he has that smug look on his face. Like fuck
Yeah.
all you. Why am I
He's
here?
judging us. He's judging us. All right. Do I even want to keep reading? To the brink of. Hold on. Of course, Jefferson's love of expensive wines and large purchases of said
Fast women.
wines, brought him to the brink of financial ruin, according to Will Weber. Also, always drink in moderation. So, pretentious
Oh.
douche overbuys wines. All right.
It's not Pokemon,
So,
man.
anyway.
You don't need to have them all.
Yeah, don't gotta have them all. All right, president number 4. I'm gonna lose track. Honestly, I forget like numbers.
Gotta catch them all, man.
Is James Madison, and his preferred drink was champagne.
Champagne.
Yeah, I actually prefer
So-
champagne to wine. To be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
So he was a Miller High Life kind of guy.
Yeah, who's the champagne of beers
beers.
guy? Per Will Weber's book, James Madison once said, "Champagne was the most delightful wine when drank in moderation, but that more than a few glasses always produced a headache the next day. Tell us something
What
we don't
a
know."
bitch.
Yes. So
Was it, you take Tylenol and a glass of water.
see, the
before you go
first
to
two
bed?
presidents are some hard beer drinking type dudes. I like porters and some hard cider. I can respect that. Then it gets all highfalutin and classy. little much for my palate, but all right. Next we have
My dumbed down gorilla palate
Yeah.
can't handle
I
that.
realize
shit.
I've been reading and talking this whole time. I'm like, oh, these Pilsners here I need to drink.
Which
gotta get
president's
the
going to have a
Lagunitas.
Pilsner as their favorite?
Yeah, well, I don't know. We'll find out, I guess.
Getting there.
So we got James Monroe next, whose preferred drink was French red wine. That's even worse.
Oh my gosh.
Monroe's a big fan of French red wine. Blah 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 blah. No. It says his stint in the executive mansion when 1,200 bottles of Burgundy and champagne from France were charged to an account that Congress had earmarked for the future. Oh wow! So this guy actually tagged on to a bill that Congress had to approve to buy him 1,200 bottles of Burgundy and champagne.
Must be good to be powerful.
Wow, that's a little bit of a presidential overreach, executive overreach.
I'm just thinking these guys back in that day didn't live that long. So how much time do they really have to drink all that?
1,200 bottles.
Exactly. If you're not
Wow.
going to live long, you need to get as much in while you still can.
I guess.
Can't mess
I guess
around
being
back then.
president just makes you want to drink, man.
Maybe that's why they age more than like the normal person.
Yeah, I was gonna say they always say that the president ages like way faster when he's in office.
Probably because he's destroying his
liver is probably just cirrhosis filled. There's cirrhosis. I don't know.
Psoriasis is a skin disease.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cirrhosis is the liver disease.
Cirrhosis
Yeah, yeah.
of the liver, yes.
All right, so we got John Quincy Adams next. This comes up again. The Spanish
Is he the
Madeira.
son?
What
Is he the son?
of James Adams or John Adams? Gosh, I
John
can speak.
Quincy Adams.
John Quincy Adams. I don't think they're related. Maybe they're. I'm so bad at this stuff. I
I
honestly
thought you were
like,
giving us history along
Yeah,
with beer.
come
man.
on.
I'm giving us beer history. I honestly should know the presidents better than I do, but I forget names really easily.
I don't think we would pass a citizenship test.
No, probably not.
No. Good thing I was
Probably
born
not.
here. Goddamn.
I'll just
John-
take my birthright.
Yep, for sure. John Quincy Adams not only enjoyed drinking Madeira, a style of Portuguese, I got that wrong earlier, Portuguese wine produced in the Madeira Islands, he also evidently held a pristine knowledge of different kinds as well. There are some claims that John Quincy Adams once conducted a blind taste test of 14 different kinds of Madeira and correctly identified 11 of them.
Good for him.
Wow, that's
Wow.
impressive,
Yeah.
actually.
Although it sounds
just
like
means
he
you're
had
an
way too much time on
alcoholic.
his hands.
I was going to say, I don't know if that's a good thing or
It sounds like a real lush.
Yeah, for
American
sure.
diplomacy back then took a hit, but he at least knew his alcohol.
He knew his alcohol.
He knew his wines. God damn, did he know his
Everybody's
wines.
got to have a hobby, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, by the way, I should have mentioned this before. This is all coming from Tucson.com. There was a New York Times article, but it wasn't as detailed as this. So let's see. So we got Andrew Jackson next, whose favorite drink was whiskey.
Good
One of the most-
choice.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're stepping our game back up.
I support that boat.
One of the most polarizing presidents in history. Andrew Jackson made, sold, and of course drank whiskey. That's all it says about him.
That's all you need to
That's
know.
all you need to know.
There's
Really? What else
He
is
was
there?
just a whiskey man. I would love to show you guys a picture of this president, by the way. I love looking at the pictures of presidents that nobody knows or remembers because some of them are just
all
so.
of them.
Yeah, all of them. All but the three we mentioned, right? There's
Exactly.
John. Yep, see, we don't even remember. There's George Washington, there's the black guy, and there's the saxophone player.
Yep.
And there's the orange guy. So this is Martin Van Buren.
That
which
guy's-
I just love this hair and mutton chops. For anybody who's listening to this later, you really should watch this on twitch.tv/Burly Bros.
Or on YouTube.
On YouTube as well. This, give us a subscription. This guy's mutton chops are something to envy.
I don't even know where his hair ends and his mutton chops begin.
How long do you think he was in
It's
the
all
Dirty Man
side,
Challenge?
like he doesn't have any hair on the top. It's just
No, it's
all
just
side
all-
hair.
it's just
not
awesome.
like in the middle of the face, not the top. It's like
you think that was a decision?
I don't know. It's pretty epic looking though.
He's like, I don't need hair.
I want to
on
be
my head.
that epic as an old man. So Martin Van Buren was also a whiskey drinker. So we went from beer drinkers to wine drinkers to whiskey drinkers. There's like a pattern here.
And
They're like
apparently-
grouping up. So
They're grouping up. They're plotting.
So his preferred drink was whiskey. Like his predecessor in the Oval Office, Martin Van Buren had an affinity towards whiskey. So much so, in fact, that he actually earned his nickname Blue Whiskey Van, according to Will Weber. So
All right.
Blue Whiskey Van.
Blue whiskey van.
Sounds like something you should avoid
Yeah,
when
I
you're
was
a
gonna
kid.
say that's if it's windowless, you don't get in for the free blue whiskey.
whiskey.
Or the free whiskey. It's a blue van with free whiskey written on the
yes.
side, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
That's not for kids. That's for me.
That's
yeah.
how they abduct adults.
That's how they abduct. Yeah, that's how they abduct adults.
That's how you get put in a sweatshop.
Ooh.
Sweatshop. More like that's how you lose a liver or a kidney.
I was gonna say that's
they
how-
don't want your
or-
liver. Obviously, if you like whiskey, your
was
liver
gonna-
is shot.
If you're like going around looking for free whiskey, they're not taking your liver.
They're looking for like random things, eyeballs, hearts, shit like that.
Yeah, maybe to cut off your limbs for experimental purposes.
Yeah, maybe a toe here and there.
All right, so we got
Even centipedes.
William Henry Harrison, whose preferred drink was hard cider. Wow, there's a whole lot on him. Basically, there was a paper that once said, give him a barrel of hard cider and a pension of $2,000 a year, and he will sit the remainder of his days in a log cabin. And there was this whole campaign against his reelection, basically saying that he was just going to sit around and drink in a log cabin. Like they just tried to make him out to be a drunkard. So that's pretty interesting.
But not the guy that earmarked money for alcohol.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah,
He was
exactly.
okay. That was all right.
So Harrison won the election, but developed pneumonia after delivering the longest inaugural address in history. He never recovered and died just 1 month into his term. No wonder I didn't remember this guy. Shortest president in U.S. history.
He wasn't
was
even
a
a
drunk guy
president.
who died from pneumonia, and he died. Yeah, he wasn't even president for
Doing
for
what he
long enough
loved.
to remember. So interesting. Yeah. Anyway,
All right, next
a
one.
little bit of history for you. We got John Tyler next, whose preferred drink was champagne.
God, I don't
According
like
to Will
champagne.
Weber, John Tyler was very fond of champagne and wrote much in a letter to his daughter. That's about all there
I
is
love
about
mimosas
him.
back in the day. What can you say?
Nobody remembers John Tyler. James K. Polk. I don't remember that because his name is so weird.
That's a president.
Yeah. James K. Polk was
We'll poke you.
favorite. Yeah, he'll polk you.
He'll polk you.
It's just wine and polk you because that's his favorite drink is wine. James K. Polk was not a heavy drinker,
Was he a
but
Looney
did
Tune?
enjoy wine, champagne and brandy.
Okay.
So,
At least
At least he got the brandy in there.
I
That's
don't
fair
know if
enough.
I've ever had brandy.
Oh, really?
Have you had brandy? I've never had it. I don't think.
I heard she's a fine girl.
Yeah. What a good wife she would
be.
be. My life, my love, my lady's the sea, though. So I
Yeah.
just can't do anything about that. But our next president here is one grumpy looking old bastard. I love throwing this picture up. Zachary Taylor. Just look at that face.
Oh my gosh.
He must be like related to Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. He
Add
looks.
an extra name.
He
I
looks
don't.
like.
He looks grumpy and depressed all at the same time. Like, look at those eyes. His eyes are like, I hate my life.
Why
did
the
I?
fuck did I run for president?
Why did I do this? Why am I married to this bitch?
He looks like that one teacher you don't want to have, like the one that still uses a ruler and just beat the
people.
shit out of you. His preferred drink was whiskey. I can tell.
I can see
he
that.
looks like a whiskey
He
drinker,
looks-
and not a casual whiskey drinker.
He'll have
It's
a
like
whiskey
a
drink
profession
and
for
a
this
vodka
guy.
drink.
Yeah,
He looks like a guy that just carries the bottle with him everywhere he
this
goes.
is his life.
He
is
pulls
whiskey.
open. He just pulls open the one half of his jacket, pulls the bottle out, takes a swig. Puts
He
it
looks
back
like he
in,
got
and just
elected
keeps
on
going.
accident and is not happy about it. He's like, really? This is going to take up my
I
whiskey
didn't
time.
even run. How
what
did
the
I
fuck?
win?
During the Mexican War, political aide reportedly visited to inform Taylor that the Whig Party wished to nominate him for president. So he is
Yeah,
exactly.
he
what I thought.
didn't
They're like,
really run.
we want to nominate you. You fucking kidding me?
No.
Taylor allegedly replied, "Stop your nonsense and drink your whiskey." This is a man who we were
sounds like
basing
a
all
good
that off of his
motto.
look, and we were pretty much right. I had not read that yet. So they wanted to elect him president. He's like, "Fuck off and drink your whiskey." And
I
then
feel
he
like
got
we need to
elected.
bring back that motto.
Yes.
Stop bitching and drink
like,
your whiskey.
And then everybody's like, "That is the answer we wanted out of our next president."
That's why we're nominating you.
That's why we're nominating you. The man who reluctantly became president, and it took up his whiskey drinking time. Thank you for taking up, for giving the American people your time when it could have been better spent drinking whiskey.
Yes.
Hats off to Zachary Taylor. All right, so we got Millard Fillmore next.
Millard Fillmore.
What a
My
pretentious
favorite.
name. He also drinks Madeira. What is up with this Portuguese
Oh my
wine shit?
gosh.
Now I feel like I got to try it. Millard Fillmore was apparently a lightweight. However, he once admitted to sampling enough Madeira that he was slightly fuddled.
Fuddled?
That's all. He's like, I don't really drink much, but one time I had enough of this one drink that I got slightly fuddled. That's his whole drinking history.
All right.
Willard Fillmore, you
didn't-
disappoint me. You're no Zachary Taylor.
He was more than just a little fuddled.
Yeah, he lived fuddled.
He was fully fuddled.
He was fully fuddled full time.
You found fuddled when you were a man, but I was born in it, raised in it.
I became part of it.
Yes, so
it was me.
I also didn't know this, but apparently Loki traveled back in time, became our president at one point. You guys got to see this picture. This is Franklin Pierce. Tell
at
me
that.
his face does not look like Loki.
Look at that. He's already got his hand on his flask.
Yeah,
Even
he's
in that
got his
picture.
hand in his picture on his flask. And you are right, because his preferred drink was
Whiskey.
everything.
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 Yes.
Franklin Pierce earned Will Weber's nod as the drunkest president in American history. According to the writer, Pierce drank a lot of everything and once said after leaving office, "What can an ex-president of the United States do except get drunk?" Hats off
Fair
to you,
enough.
Franklin Pierce.
You know what? That's the most truth statement I've ever heard
This
from a
one
president.
goes out to Franklin Pierce.
Franklin Pierce.
You the boy.
He subsequently died of cirrhosis of the liver at age 65. So
He went
a
out with
little bit
a
of
bang.
everything. He went out with a bang. He went out doing what he loved.
Yes.
Exactly.
Drinking.
Yeah,
Profusely.
So, when you had the cosmic cube, when you had the Tesseract in your hand, and you get transported back to the 1800s, what else are you gonna do besides get drunk?
See,
No?
I don't believe it now. He's not really dead.
He's not. He's
he's
probably
not.
not.
I just had to say something because like, where the fuck did he go?
Yeah, he's like, man, how am I gonna convince people that I died? I'll just drink a lot of everything.
I'm just gonna drink until
But
it
he's
seems like I'm
he's
dead.
Asgardian. So
When
it
did John
doesn't affect
Lithgow
him.
become president?
Oh yes, another great picture I got to show you guys.
I don't even know.
John Lithgow, aka James Buchanan. So his preferred drink was sherry.
Sherry. That's not a
Yes.
drink.
That's a song.
Yes,
That's
it
a
is.
prostitute.
As the president who preceded Abraham Lincoln, James Buchanan's historical standing was perhaps always doomed to be cast in a negative light. Of course, his decision to dismiss slavery as an issue that needed to be addressed, among other questionable policies in office, helped Buchanan consistently be labeled America's worst president. As far as his stance on alcohol, Will Weber wrote that a friend of Buchanan's once said, the Madeira again, and sherry that he consumed would fill more than one old cellar.
Wow.
Was that before the Depression? I'm guessing if he was.
Well, yes, this is before Abraham Lincoln was president.
So-
Yeah. So
I think they had a pretty low bar for the worst president ever.
Yeah, no shit.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, I mean, he was didn't do anything about slavery, so that would be pretty bad. So anyway, we'll move on to Abraham Lincoln, who did
Honest
do something
Abe.
about slavery, and his preferred drink was water. While
honest fuck.
Yeah, he's too honest. But you know what? I gotta let Abe have this one. You know, normally I'd be a little upset for someone who avoided alcohol. I would be distrusting. It's honest Abe after all, right?
Yeah, it is. I guess you can't
See, he set it up.
distrust him.
While Pierce earns the distinction of the drunkest president, Abraham Lincoln was pegged as the driest by Will Weber which is partially true. If Honest Abe did drink, he did so very rarely. So
In a closet. He was a closet drinker.
yeah, closet drinker. So yeah, I don't know.
He dressed up in costume and drink on college campuses.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the one area where Abraham Lincoln's not in the top of list of presidents. If we're talking about drinking, he doesn't even.
He doesn't
yeah.
even. He's
Normally he's like in everybody's top, best presidents. But when we talk about best drinking presidents, he's way down on the list.
He's like the bottom, below
Yeah.
the bar.
So, but it balances out. So
This guy looks familiar.
Andrew Johnson, he looks like that actor. Oh, I can never think of his
Looks
name.
like John
Hold on.
John Madden.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw up a picture. I'm gonna throw up the picture of this guy real
Boom!
quick.
He's on his back.
He looks like the actor that was in Mission Impossible 2 as the bad guy, but I can't think of his freaking name. He's been in a lot of other stuff. That's just like the first thing that comes to my mind. It doesn't matter. Andrew Johnson. I'll have to look up his name later. Andrew Johnson's preferred drink was whiskey. As it turns out, both Andrew Johnson and Andrew Jackson both enjoyed whiskey above all other alcoholic drinks.
It's funny. The guys who drink whiskey have a look like they enjoy whiskey. Like I've seen
Whiskey drinkers have that look in their eyes. They're like, this is life. This is what I'm about.
It's just always like a heavy brow and a little bit of squinting going on, and just looks.
They look like they're
Sad.
trying to find their next whiskey glass.
They look like they're
They're
pissed
still
and
hungover
depressed
from the night before.
Yeah.
at the same time.
Yeah.
If I just squint hard enough, I might be able to understand what they're talking about.
Show me.
Yeah, I think he's
the
still drunk.
way
I think
to
he's still
the
drunk.
next whiskey bar.
All right.
This is why the Titanic sank. This guy is drinking.
Yep. So, next president, Ulysses S. Grant. Favorite drink was champagne.
Oh, I would not have pegged him as a champagne drinker.
I would not either. I honestly would have thought a beer or a whiskey.
He's got a
drinker.
monocle, so I mean it's a sign.
I guess.
I guess.
That's true.
Yeah, true. All right. I'll
Like Fillmore,
give you
Ulysses
that
S.
one.
Grant was labeled a lightweight drinker. That surprises me.
He's a heavy bro.
Yeah, he's a big burly looking dude. If anybody doesn't know what Ulysses S. Grant looks like, let me throw up a picture
picture
of
of
him.
the
He
captain
looks
of the
like
Titanic.
he looks like a burly bro. He does.
Yes.
Yeah, he kind of looks like he's gonna go down with the Titanic. I could see that. So anyway, he looks like a burly bro, but he likes champagne and not even that much of it. So one of Grant's White House entertaining bills included $1,800 for champagne alone. He certainly wasn't opposed to celebratory drinks. That's about all it's said about him. So this next guy, Rutherford B. Hayes, which is such a great name, he looks like the shovel murderer
I was
from.
gonna say he saved Macaulay
He looks
Culkin.
like- he saved Macaulay Culkin from Moen or from. Why can't I think of it? Gosh,
The Wet
dang.
Bandits.
The Wet Bandits. Damn it. He does though. So he's a guy. Yes.
Oh, the dude doesn't even have a mouth. That stash is so
That's
thick.
gonna be me soon. Like because
burly.
we're doing the year challenge, the whole like not shaving for a year, and
For a
my
year?
my mustache is starting to. I'm gonna have to start waxing the thing because it's just getting down in my mouth. all the
I've
time.
already have for like the last 2 weeks. Cause
Yeah,
mine's getting
same.
to a point where I'm biting on
I've
it.
been using like oils and beard butters to keep it out of my mouth, but I'm thinking the wax that I've been saving, I'm gonna have to start using that. So
Been using some truffle butter.
yeah,
truffle
so
butter.
the guy that saved Macaulay Culkin, saved Kevin McAllister from the Wet Bandits, was a non-alcoholic. Rutherford B. Hayes' wife Lucy was a teetotaler.
That's why we can't trust him.
Yep.
That's why he's a
I
shovel
wouldn't
killer.
trust him. That's why he probably did murder his family with a shovel. A believer in complete personal abstinence from alcoholic drinks. As such, she banned alcohol and smoking, among other things, from the White House when Hayes was
Sounds
president.
like he should have banned her.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, first president to get divorced in the White House should have been. She earned the nickname Lemonade Lucy for this lifestyle. According to Will
milk
Weber,
lemonade round the corner, fudge is made.
staffers sympathetic to visitors that might want some alcohol tried to infuse some oranges in the punch with rum, but Hayes apparently discovered the plot and had staffers substitute rum flavoring instead. What a bastard.
Where do you get rum flavoring?
People try to establish a speakeasy in the White House, and this bastard's like, nope.
What an asshole.
Rum flavoring, yeah. I don't know. Though Hayes adopted his wife's personal stance toward alcohol while in the White House, he was not a teetotaler throughout his entire life. So he was whipped. He was the most whipped president
that
in American
bitch to the
history.
curb.
His wife comes in and just ruined everything. in
Thing
the
that
White
he
House.
loved in
Yeah.
life.
So
Mostly, which was alcohol.
I hate Mondays, and so does James Garfield. I don't know if he does. His name's Garfield.
He loves lasagna though.
Yeah, he does love
God,
lasagna,
does he love
and
his
he
lasagna.
loves beer. President James Garfield, unlike other presidents, was a beer man through and through. Yes. A friend of Garfield's, Thomas Donaldson, once noted in his diary, Garfield liked beer and drank but little else. So
What a man.
I don't know who we're going to
It's
give
got
this
water
award
in
to,
it. You don't
but
need to drink it.
I'm thinking James Garfield is moving to the top. This one goes out to you, James Garfield.
James Garfield,
Your buddy Odie.
beer drinking son of a bitch.
Yep, you are a Burly Bro through and through. All right, Chester A. Arthur. I love this guy, by the way. I did preview his little thing earlier because every time I hear the name Chester A. Arthur, I think of one thing. I think of Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Oh,
It's one of the plot points. You got that weird guy. It's like, oh yeah, Chester A. Arthur, the 23rd president. Anyway, it's just what I think of.
okie dokie.
Never seen that movie? It's funny. The guy's
probably
telling
have,
them all
but
about the
not that I've
the
actually
aqueduct. Anyway, in the article, somebody will get it. In the article by
For that one person?
Yeah.
You're welcome.
That's twice now he's
Oh,
done
come on.
this
No.
tonight.
You
Twice.
just got to find that one person.
There's
Twice
more
tonight.
than one person that likes Die Hard with a Vengeance. I'm just saying. So anyway, his favorite. Let me see. I'm gonna skip. There's a lot of dumb stuff in the beginning. When a representative of the temperance movement pressured Arthur to consider a no alcohol policy at the White House, he thundered, "Madam, I may be president of the United States, but what I do in my private life is my own damned business." Let's say this about Arthur enjoyed
Fuck
his
yeah.
alcoholic beverages and would have received a ton of flack on Twitter had it existed in the 1880s. This one goes out to you, Chester A. Arthur. There's some presidents here
It's
that we
none of
really
their damn business.
None of their damn
You
business.
keep it to yourself. It's your beer. You drink it.
Tell those temperance movements to get out of your damned White House. All right, Chester A.
Sick of
Arthur.
these damn
he was
temperance people.
also a fat dude. He was like 300 plus pounds. Big old guy. He really liked his beer.
Well, I mean, if you drink that much beer, you are going to get a nice
for sure.
beer belly.
Yeah, beer everything, beer body.
Beer body.
All right, and another beer drinker. We got Grover Cleveland, whose favorite drink was
Grover.
beer. Yeah, I like that name, Grover.
Grover.
Yeah. Grover Cleveland had a strong preference towards beer, drank a lot of it, and drank it almost exclusively. According to a fellow politician, once took a vow to hold themselves to 4 beers a day. Something tells us limiting oneself to 4 beers per day isn't the healthiest way to live. So
He
at
brings a
least
whole new meaning
At
to
least he
Cleveland
brought
Rocks.
it down to Cleveland Rocks.
Oops. Oh.
Cleveland Rocks. I haven't seen that show in a long time.
I love
That's another. You get to throw out obscure references. I got it though.
I do.
Yeah, that's the Drew Carey show.
Drew Carey show.
Yes. All right. Yeah, that was a good show. Anyway, so next, Benjamin Harrison. Honestly, did not. know this guy was president.
Wait. Did anybody else have fantasies of Mimi, or was that just me?
Oh gosh, that was just you.
Damn it.
Gosh. No, I had one last night for real. It was just that rouge, man. It was all the makeup.
I just always pictured her, down doing business, and she comes up, and I just have that face paint down there.
I was gonna say you would
Clown
never,
dick.
you would never get away with, cheating on your wife with
Looked like a Pinocchio down there. Got his
Looked
face
like someone
painted.
makeup shotgunned your genitals.
Exactly.
All right, Benjamin Harrison.
How many times did the captain of Titanic become president?
I know.
I thought there was like 2 terms.
I'll throw this picture up for you guys real quick. So the next president is Benjamin Harrison, and his favorite drink was tea.
He looks like the greatest grandpa
Boring.
ever.
Yeah, he does. He looks like a grandpa. Benjamin leaned more towards God than demon alcohol. Unlike many presidents before, Benjamin
call me
Harrison
Satan,
stayed
then.
away from booze. According to Harrison's wife, what does this say? Homie custom was to serve hot, clear soup at the White House with teas and so he liked soup and tea. Lame. He just liked those hot beverages, but not a hot toddy though.
If alcohol's a demon, then call me Satan.
Yeah. Did we already? Wait, we didn't do
Grover
Grover
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
We
Okay.
did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we?
Because Cleveland Rocks, remember? We just talked.
We just talked about. Me and you.
Why does
literally-
it show Grover Cleveland before and after Benjamin Harrison in this
Because
article?
Probably
he was
had
on
split
Badass.
terms.
Cleveland's penchant for beer continued in his second term in office.
See?
Some people don't have back-to-back terms. Some people
Yeah.
have. split
I
terms.
honestly forgot about that. I knew there was at least one president that did that, so that's Grover Cleveland, I guess. We're teaching you something. Grover Cleveland was president twice, but not in a row.
You gonna learn today?
apparently. Yeah, you gonna learn today. Here's a president that not many people know about, William McKinley. I
I
remember
think he looks like
learning-
the meanest one.
He looks like a bastard for sure. Let me throw a picture of this guy up.
Jesus.
Yeah, for sure, right?
But those
at those
eyebrows,
eyebrows.
dude.
That's literally the first thing I noticed.
When they
Those
say
eyebrows.
when they say on fleek, that's what they mean right there.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
Like his head is literally the same exact size
It's a
as
square.
his neck.
It's an actual legitimate
what's
square.
what's the neck equivalent of Kankles?
Yeah, it's his neck though, for sure. Like
It's a heckle. Like
you
a
ain't got
heckle?
no neck.
A head and a
No
neck.
neck, Nick.
No neck, Nick. Yeah. So no neck and almost no hair. Completely square head, but he's got
Yeah.
that cleft chin. So what a scary bastard. I would be frightened of this man. I couldn't imagine being his son or
That's
his
some
grandson.
nightmares.
Is that Sound
Yeah.
of the Lamb's dad?
I think I'm gonna have nightmares of William McKinley tonight. But he was assassinated in office, I believe, which is something that nobody ever talks about. But anyway, because we
No one
talk about
remembers.
president, yeah, because nobody remembers he was ever president. Anyway, in addition to having an Alaskan mountain named after him, a polarizing topic in the news last year when President Barack Obama, well, this is an old article, renamed the mountain. Anyway, get past this. So William McKinley also had alcoholic drinks named after him. One such drink, popular at the time of election, was McKinley's Delight and consisted of the following ingredients. So McKinley has his own drink, which consists of 3 ounces of rye whiskey, 1 ounce of sweet vermouth, 2 dashes of cherry brandy, and 1 dash of absinthe. Wow.
Sounds like we need to try something.
Wow.
That sounds like a hard drink.
That sounds like it's going to knock you on your ass.
It looked, not him though.
But no,
That
well,
looks
look
like-
at that
I was gonna
motherfucker.
say, you look at that face. He's like, I've seen things.
Hashtag triggered is where it started right there.
Yeah, I think he was assassinated in office. He was definitely shot while in office. I don't know if he died from it, but so was our next president, Theodore Roosevelt. He was
good old
shot,
Teddy.
He was shot with a .32 caliber and gave a 90-minute speech afterwards.
Well,
True story.
that guy was a
That
big
bull
fucker.
moose is that bull moose is a fucking
Work needs to
mean
get done.
bastard, dude.
This hurts.
And his
This hurts a little
favorite drink was mint julep.
The fuck is
Teddy
mint
Roosevelt,
julep?
the man for which Will Weber's book is named, loved mint juleps. He even used them to entice his cabinet to come play tennis with him after him at the White House.
The fuck is a mint julep?
Roosevelt used mint from the White House garden to make the drink, which also comes with the recipe: 10 to 12 fresh mint leaves muddled with a splash of water and sugar cube, 2 to 3 ounces of rye whiskey, and a 1/4 ounce of brandy.
Now we have 2 drinks to try.
So that is
shit, I wanna
that is
try
mint julep.
julep.
Yeah.
It sounds good.
We
That
should have
sounds
looked
good.
this up before and had President's Day beverages.
Yeah, I know. I didn't realize it was President's Day till like yesterday. So forgive me. I don't. Who honestly remembers when President's Day is?
People who have it off.
I'm gonna say us hardworking class don't get that day off, so we don't remember
exactly. It doesn't mean anything. So next president, William Howard Taft, which was another fat bastard with a nice mustache. I'll throw a picture of him up real quick. William Howard Taft.
Oh, look at that!
Just look at him.
Look at
Oh,
that!
wrong one. Oh, I'll cut that out. All right, William Howard Taft. Recognized by many. His favorite drink was champagne. He was recognized by many for his rotund physical frame.
So when did
Sons of bitches.
when did the
When did body positivity start?
when did
not really,
the
no.
uncle of Harry Potter become president?
Yeah, well, apparently in the early 1900s.
Dursley.
Dursley.
Yeah, so William Taft was around 300 pounds. Wait, I was getting him and Chester A. Arthur mixed up. Chester A. Arthur was big too, but Taft was bigger.
I didn't think he was that. He didn't
Yeah,
look that
no, I
big.
was getting him confused. Recognized by many of for his rotund physical frame, he tipped the scales at more than 300 pounds. President Taft didn't have a drinking prowess equal to his size, though he would drink champagne occasionally for celebratory purposes. Taft did not drink a lot, but he did really like Snickers because he wasn't himself without Snickers. He's a lot less than himself. So yeah, I don't know. He liked the junk food. Seems like.
Yeah, his body would say so.
Yes. Woodrow Wilson would be our next president, and his preferred drink was Scotch.
That sounds like a president.
Scotch,
Yeah,
Scotch,
Scotch,
down
Scotch,
into my
Scotch.
belly. His campaign song, Wilson, That's All, actually came from a brand of whiskey that was popular early in the 20th century. It's quite interesting that presidential campaigns were in some cases actually closely tied to alcohol. Nice. That's
Sponsorships.
yeah, sponsored.
I don't know if that's really that surprising. I mean,
This
alcohol has always been a
this
big
presidency brought to you by Wilson Whiskey.
A magical blend of barley, hops, and delicious alcohol.
Yeah. All right. So next we got Warren G. Harding.
That's quite the chin.
Yeah. You want me to show you a picture of Warren G. Harding?
Seems like he could take a
Interesting.
punch.
Interesting looking dude. He's got another kind of square head. Honestly, his photo looks photoshopped. It looks like not real. It looks like a painting kind of ish. I don't know. Maybe
Probably
it was.
because it is a painting.
Yeah, I'm gonna say most of these are actually paintings. There's been an actual couple.
No, there's
photos,
a couple of photos.
But that's a painting. That's on canvas.
like this up here's a photo.
That's a photo. But the next
That
looks
was
like a
an
painting.
artist.
that's
Yeah.
a painting. It looks like it's done on canvas.
So Warren G. Harding, favorite drink was whiskey. He habitually stashed a bottle of whiskey in his golf bag.
Once again, the same kind
and
of
thought
face.
nothing of taking a pop before he teed up.
It's got that same
That's
face
the only way
again.
to golf.
Yeah, he does have that whiskey looking face. This next one I'm guessing is a teetotaler.
He looks a lot happier.
No, wait, no.
Herbert Hoover? No.
Calvin Coolidge.
Calvin Coolidge.
Which liked Tokay wine. Calvin Coolidge was
like
not much of a
Japanese?
drinker, but he was very fond of Tokay wine.
Hungry.
Never heard of that. Tokaj is usually sweet wine from the Tokaj district of northeastern Hungary.
Oh, okay.
Sounds like he's more thirsty than hungry.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, so that would be Calvin Coolidge. Next, we have Herbert Hoover,
Who created the vacuum?
which there's no picture of him. He created the vacuum for sure. That's what he's famous for.
His
not
picture
the
is
dam,
just a
not,
JPEG.
not the dam, but the
Nope.
vacuum.
Nope.
That's what he's famous for.
The vacuum.
He was into wine and martinis. Hoover supposedly had a fantastic wine collection, Will Weber wrote, but his wife allegedly dumped it down the drain when Prohibition hit.
Shoot that bitch.
Bitch!
Shoot that bitch.
What the hell? Interestingly enough, Herbert Hoover called Prohibition the noble experiment during his time as a politician, but asked for a good dry martini while suffering from pneumonia at age 80.
Well, he did lose, so
Yeah.
you might as well enjoy it while you.
No shit. Might as well just have that last one.
Yeah, the noble experiment. It was a bad experiment. It did not
terrible.
go well. Yeah. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Al Capone and stuff like that, but people still drank, and it just created a lot of violence.
They weren't making taxes off it.
Yeah, exactly. So
Fuck the
Yeah.
sin tax.
Sin tax.
Jesus, that
Yeah.
was hard to get
Maybe
out.
that's why the Great Depression happened.
yeah, I mean, maybe,
Alcohol
yeah.
taxes went down. Couldn't afford.
Bad. Yeah, the 1920s were a lot worse time to live than now in the 2020s. Hopefully, we'll see. We'll see.
See, these
We're
are the
hoping.
real Roaring 20s.
This is the real Roaring 20s. We're gonna have alcohol the whole time.
we got,
It's just
it's
gonna
gonna
get
be
better.
lit.
we got TikTok and we got whiskey, bitch. You
Yeah.
do the math.
Yeah, for sure. So, all right, now we have our longest serving president who served more than 2 terms. He actually served into a 4th term.
I'm going to say 4, right?
Yes, he died in his 4th term. A lot of people
Yeah.
don't know that. Franklin Delano Roosevelt. His preferred drink was assorted cocktails. As the president who signed the Cullen-Harrison Act bringing about a repeal to Prohibition, thank you. This one goes out to you, FDR. Thank you for ending Prohibition and winning World War II.
Thanks for bringing the beer back.
Perhaps it is no surprise that Franklin Delano Roosevelt enjoyed a good drink from time to time. Will Weber notes the FDR as the president most associated with cocktails and connects him to a gin-based martinis, whiskey-based Manhattans, as well as Bermuda rum swizzles.
Manhattans.
I actually,
Shaken or stirred?
I
Question.
think I'm the only one, but I actually do like gin. I'm not a huge fan of martinis, but I like gin and tonics and other gin drinks.
I like
Gin and
Manhattans.
juice.
Manhattans are good, yeah. So
Never been.
he liked his mixed drinks, so that's cool.
Solid.
And he died in his 4th term,
Yeah.
which made Harry S. Truman the president to take over when the Cold War started. So Harry
Who
S.
also started the Truman Show.
Yes, he's also the star of the Truman Show.
And in case he doesn't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and,
And
good night.
His favorite drink was bourbon. Unlike many of his predecessors,
See, we're getting back.
and many of his predecessors who were more interested in drinking wine and beer, Harry Truman was a fan of the hard stuff.
True man.
He was a
True
true
man.
man. Loved bourbon and quite often knocked down a shot of it in the morning.
One bourbon, one scotch.
One beer. Yeah. He also liked very strong old fashioned and would complain if his staff made it too weak. An old fashioned is a cocktail typically made with bourbon or rye whiskey and gross bitters, sugar, and garnish with a cherry. I'm not going to even try that. It's some type of bitters. So
Okay.
I think I've had an old fashioned before.
Old fashions are good
Yeah.
too.
So-
I haven't had one in a long time, but they're good.
Yeah. Next, we're actually getting pretty modern, so we don't have that many left to go. We got Dwight D. Eisenhower, who was into scotch.
Okay.
He was a smoker who
choice.
suffered multiple heart attacks during his life. As a result, Ike was limited to just a few drinks by his doctor. So he liked scotch, but he couldn't drink a whole lot of it.
Couldn't drink like you wanted to.
Yep. Poor Ike. Then we got JFK,
At least didn't beat Tina Turner.
who was... That's true. That's true. Different Ike. We got JFK, who was into Bloody Marys and bloody...
And some blondes.
bloody, yeah, and blonde. I was gonna say and bloody convertibles, but that's that's
Back
a different
and
story.
to the left.
Too soon? Too
Back
soon?
and to the left. So yeah, too soon. I don't know. It's been a while. Those who enjoy drinking a Bloody Mary are probably aware that they can either be delicious or terrible. I've never liked Bloody Marys. Do you guys?
I've never had
My
one I
sister's
like.
really into Bloody Marys. I,
mean,
think they're gross.
I've had some pretty good ones. I mean, I don't usually use like the
I don't
actual
want
tomato,
alcoholic
tomato
V8.
juice.
So
Because there's like another like substitute for the tomato juice that I think is a bit better flavor.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't like it. Kennedy drank a lot of
They're all
different.
gonna laugh at you.
No, that's okay. Kennedy drank a lot of different alcoholic beverages, including daiquiris and Heineken beer, which I actually like.
Daiquiris.
Which he knows was considered at the time to be a big deal because it was imported.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Kennedy also did the Cuban.
Tesla crisis.
No. He the Cuban trade embargo, and he ordered all those Cuban cigars before, so he was okay with importing things
Yeah, he was
as
all
long
right
as
with
you
it.
couldn't. As long as you couldn't.
Yeah.
So
That's all it came down to.
Yeah, for
He
sure.
wanted the power.
no, I mean he
He was a
different
fucking
reasons, but-
Highlander.
Next guy is not a crook.
The next guy, well, no, wrong president. Wrong
I
president. You're jumping ahead of yourself.
I saw the picture. I didn't really see
No,
it.
he really meant he's not a crook. Yeah.
He's not a crook.
It's Lyndon B. Johnson.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
He's literally not a crook.
Yeah, jumping ahead there. Lyndon B. Johnson.
Premature
Favorite,
bastard.
yeah, son of a bitch. Favorite drink was whiskey and scotch. Scotch. He liked. Let's see. Senate Majority Leader Johnson instructed staff to make his scotch and soda significantly weaker than his guests, so he could keep a clearer head while negotiating. He also reportedly
That's
threw
cheating.
massive. Yeah, I know.
That's
threw
not cheating,
massive,
that's-
lavish barbecues for dignitaries.
leverage.
It's actually smart.
You can drink anyone on the table if you put water in it.
Yeah, he can water it
Exactly.
down. Yeah, I never said he played fair. Where he'd drive around. Let's see.
Sounds
Yeah,
like
so-
a
You
crook
ain't
to me.
cheating. You ain't trying.
Yeah, exactly.
If you ain't first, you're last.
So this next president was
Makes
a
no
crook.
sense. There's
this
second,
next
there's
president.
third.
Yeah.
Hell,
Hell,
even
there's even fourth.
This next president was a crook. Richard Nixon. Since you said the last one wasn't. Not a crook. Yeah. And he's also a head in
No,
Futurama.
Futurama, yeah.
One of the
Sure.
funniest parts of Futurama. His preferred drink was expensive red wine. Nixon earned his nickname Tricky Dick, according to Will Weber. Nixon would routinely drink expensive bottles of red wine while simultaneously instructing his staff to serve wines in lesser quantities to his guests.
Lesser quantities or lesser qualities?
Qualities. Yep.
I'm gonna say quantities. Why would you like?
You're right. Lesser
I
qualities.
think they would notice that.
Yep. No, you're right. So
them 3/4
he kept
full
the good
cups.
stuff, and he gave them the swill.
See,
So
I think he was Tricky Dick up until
that
about
is why
Slick
he's Tricky
Willie.
Dick. Yes,
Slick Will.
for sure.
And then he became the new Tricky Dick.
Basically, then we got Gerald R. Ford, Gerald Henderson
Henderson
Ford. His favorite drink was martinis. President Ford
Motor
enjoyed
oil.
drinking martinis so much that he sometimes had multiples at lunch. But when Ford was thrust into the presidency following the Watergate scandal, as Nixon resigned from office, Ford staffers advised he cut back on the drinks. So
So he cut down to 2 at lunch.
yes,
Yeah.
just 2.
Set of 4, but
Then we got Jimmy Carter, who's the only president I've seen so far that likes white wine. Lame. That's why he's a one-term president. Although Jimmy Carter would drink white wines for the occasional toast at events, he was far from an avid drinker, imbibing alcohol only sparingly. Next, we have Ronald Reagan, who was into wine. I did not expect that.
man, it seems like there's always a pattern. Like it goes from
Yeah. It
You
went
know
from a
what I
lot of
mean?
whiskey drinkers in a row, a lot of wine drinkers in a row, then some beer drinkers.
beer drinkers
It's a
are
good
actually
cycle.
The low, yeah.
are
Out of
actually
so
the
far,
lowest.
beer drinkers
Beer,
are the
whiskey, wine. Beer, whiskey, wine.
I
But-
think like wine drinkers are the highest amount
like,
amongst
and
presidents. Well,
beer-
wine and champagne, and then I would say whiskeys, specifically scotches or rye.
Yeah, and then beer's
And then beer's
at the
like at the
bottom.
lowest. Like our first president had it right. Dark porters. What the hell?
Yeah, give me that coffee beer.
Yeah, come on. So let's see. While living life in Hollywood, Reagan developed a taste for California wines and an occasional orange blossom special made with vodka. There was a recipe which was 1 ounce of vodka, 1 ounce of grenadine, and 2 ounces of orange juice. That actually sounds good. That's basically just a screwdriver with
Let's
some
say yeah, it's
grenadine.
like almost like a tequila sunrise, but not.
Yeah, with vodka instead.
yeah,
Yeah, that actually
it's
sounds
vodka
pretty good.
sunrise.
Vodka sunrise.
I guess, but I guess technically it's an orange blossom. Is that what
Yeah, they
call
call it an orange blossom.
All right.
But I would actually. I hate vodka, but if you mix it with orange
Whoa.
juice, it's great. So
Oh, the citrus cuts.
this just
through
as
it.
a vodka.
Is that the wrong
orange
blossom?
juice. So, oh yeah, wrong blossom.
wrong blossom.
Then we
Damn.
got George H.W. Bush, first
H.W..
Bush, George Bush one, who was like,
no.
beer, vodka, martinis. Nice, we got a beer
All
drinker.
right.
Former President George H.W.
they call me W.
money. I think the strong bet would say probably the same with George Bush. George W. W.
No, actually, you'd be wrong. I actually read ahead. But,
W.
We'll get there. Well, yes and no.
I can tell by
Father
looking
to
at
former President George W. Bush and 2016 presidential candidate Jeb Bush, drank a bit of everything. He often went for vodka martinis and beer. Most of the Bush family's drinking stories are connected to Bush's oldest son, George, who quit drinking before he was elected president. So, yeah, I'm sure he did drink beer and all that stuff, but as president,
Did
he
they
was
start Bush
he was
Bush
a dry
beer?
he was a dry president. No, wrong Bush.
Oh, okay. Damn.
All right, Slick Willie. We got
huge.
Slick Willie next. A snake bite. What does it say? It doesn't say his favorite drink. It says a snake bite. Bill Clinton's favorite alcoholic drink is 1 part cider and 1 part lager mixed in equal volumes. That's okay. According
All
to a
right.
2001 article, Clinton was refused a snake bite in the bar in UK because it was illegal to serve it there.
My sister drank snake bite whiskey and broke her Leg.
Ankle.
Really? I didn't know that.
She has hardware in her leg now.
Did that happen recently?
A few years ago.
Oh, okay.
She was still in Michigan.
She was still in Michigan, yeah.
I might remember that. So basically, there's another drink that my cousin likes to do where he mixes Blue Moon and Angry Orchard.
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing.
Was it
just a lager
Angry
and
Blue or something like that?
Yeah, basically just a
Blue
lager with
Orchard.
hard cider mixed together.
It's not bad.
Yeah, so that's not a bad drink. So that's Slick Willie's favorite drink. We got George W. Who again quit drinking before he went to the White House, and his favorite
he was
preferred
plastered
drink.
through college.
Oh, for sure. He also did
he got done with his first.
He also got arrested for marijuana or something.
He did. I think.
Yeah.
Did he inhale like Slick Willie?
No, Slick Willie smoked marijuana, but he didn't inhale. Whatever the fuck that means. Bullshit. That's what it means.
The entire time that he was drive-through
whatever.
presidency, he wished he was drinking though.
I'm pretty sure he was. George W. Bush hung up his drinking pants before he made it to office. Instead of booze, Bush preferred to drink soda and other non-alcoholic beverages as president. Then we got another beer drinker, actually.
Beer drinkers.
Which would be Barack Obama. He was a beer
really?
drinker. Yeah, for sure. Actually, there's all those pictures of him drinking beer. And there's
That's
actually
true.
something interesting about him. There are plenty of pictures of President Obama indulging in a cold beer, even ones that evolved into a famous meme. While Obama was in office, the abode of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue featured a White House honey ale. I would have loved to try this.
I know.
Sounds delicious.
Hey, wait.
For special guests.
Doesn't the White House actually have its own beer? Like
That's
its
what I'm
own-
saying. Yeah. So the beer is brewed using honey from the White House hives, according to Will Weber. So they actually brewed their own honey beer at the White House, which is awesome. I would have
pretty
loved to
sick.
have a White House honey beer. It's I mean, you couldn't get it unless you're like specially invited to the White
Yeah.
House, certain people, but that would have been really
nice.
freaking
Or if you
cool.
specially break in.
Yeah, especially. Well, there was a couple of break-ins when he was president. There was like all those Secret Service was getting flack a lot because that couple broke into that party and went up and shook the president's hand. They're like, they weren't supposed to be here. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but I just thought it was interesting. This has made the news pretty big. And then current president Donald Trump, favorite drink Diet Coke. He's been a teetotaler his whole life because his brother actually drank himself to death. So kind of a sad story.
That's not a good reason.
Yeah, kind of a sad story, but he apparently never touched alcohol, so
that's
nothing there. So
that's not a good story though.
yeah. Anyway, so that concludes all 52
Oh, geez.
president's drinking habits.
How many presidents
So
did you
are
recognize?
welcome for the President's Day.
Really surprised. Well, I guess I'm not that surprised that wine and champagne was. I'm not surprised that wine and champagne was at the top, but I'm really surprised that there wasn't more beer drinkers.
I'm a little bit surprised too. Like, I'm not surprised about the wine and champagne or the whiskey, I guess, but none of them said they drank that plus beer. It was like almost none of them liked beer.
Yeah, it was damn near exclusive on what they drank.
I'd have to go back and total it, but I feel like there was only about 5 maybe. Presidents who claimed to actually like beer. Like, I almost expected the article to be like, this was the type of beer this president liked, or the type, but it was just like, wine.
We drink beer.
We drink wine.
We drink some beer.
Like, the only specifics for beer was George Washington liked porters.
Yep.
John Adams also liked porters.
Yep.
But he preferred hard cider. And
Might be related to sort of a economic demographic. Who knows? I mean,
that's
maybe.
true as well.
George Washington wasn't necessarily. I mean, back then, I don't think presidents were necessarily upper class. I mean, sort of just voted on.
The presidency's changed so much though, because the presidency used to be basically secondary to the legislative branch, and now we look at the presidency more of a king-like status than we used to.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's changed for sure. There's definitely considerations as far as the time that it was and what people drank in those times, and you're right, class, because I feel like beer is more of a low and mid class drink than
blue collar.
More blue collar drink. For sure.
It's interesting because you look back in towards medieval times and even a little bit after that.
Dilly.
Some of your biggest drinks were like lagers and meads.
Yeah, meads, lagers, different types of
And lagers,
beer.
meads, and ales were like the biggest thing. Like, so it's kind of weird not to see that transfer over into
wines have been around for just. Long,
wines
though.
has been around for a long time. But I'm just saying, like, in the early presidencies, who were more hardworking men.
Yeah, they were. They were more. I mean, George Washington was a soldier.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
a general.
It was surprising seeing the first few presidents not being more distinctly beer drinkers over everything else.
I guess so. Yeah.
No, that's just my thought process on it, I guess.
For sure. So, Interesting take. So we learned a little bit of history, gave you guys a little bit to munch on for the presidents.
Walk down memory lane
Yeah.
for those presidents that no one knows
When
about.
you'll probably forget about Zachary Taylor and the guy who saved Macaulay Culkin. I already forgot his name.
Yep, exactly.
So, I really should learn our presidents better. All right, so we're going to ask you guys a question tonight. Am I a bitch?
Am I a bitch? Oh, you didn't do the chimes, dude.
All right, well,
my
no
bad.
chimes? Oh, that's okay. So we're going to ask this question specifically of Beardculez tonight. Am I a bitch?
In honor of Beardculez.
Yep.
For being a brand new minivan owner.
Yep.
So
Fuck all y'all.
Yeah. Am I a bitch for owning a minivan? So what do you guys think? I have a very close story about minivans to my life.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you've owned a couple.
I've owned many. I actually love vans.
I love my
I
minivan.
love vans.
It's got some power. It's got room. I can fold the seats down. I can keep my kids quiet the entire time with a DVD. I can take a lot of people with me.
Yeah,
7 to be exact.
I feel like if you really think about it, whenever you see a movie where the dad buys a minivan, you just see him. He's got the polo on. His wife is just riding him. He's just totally pussy whipped.
Actually, she's not riding him.
No, not
Yeah.
riding him anymore. She's whipping
been a
him.
while since
Yeah,
then.
but she won't ride him. And that's the image you get of I guess I traded in the Corvette for the minivan.
Traded in my cock
I'm going to
for-
pretend that I'm happy, but I don't think it's like that in real life very often.
I didn't have a
mean,
Corvette.
in high school, I drove a minivan in high school.
Yeah, I had
And
a friend in high
had-
school that had one, and we would go to we had off-campus lunches, and we'd go to the Chinese buffet. And we
That's
always come
what-
back
yeah.
late,
Yeah.
and so we easily could kick one person out to like run in class to tell the teacher like we were on our way.
Yep, that's exactly what we did too. I went to the Chinese buffet right in town, and I took my minivan. I drove people because I had went to high school at 2 different high schools because I did a program where I would do certain training. It was like college level training at a different place, and everybody rode with me. Like that, I was the guy that gave everybody rides. Like, people gave me gas money. We all went out to food, and it was just like having a minivan was actually awesome in high school.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
It's like, yeah, you have a 2-seater car. It's like, well, that sucks. You're just, but you could be like the guy that's transporting people around, having fun. Like, I don't know. I enjoyed being the person with a minivan. And even as an adult, it's like you can tow stuff with a minivan.
Oh, yeah.
You can't tow stuff with a car. So it's not quite a truck, but you can fit stuff. You got DVD players. You can fold down the seats. It can turn into basically a camper if you want to go camping. Like if you're talking about 2 people going camping, you only need a minivan.
No.
Plus, our grandpa has one, and
You know what I mean?
he said it's actually got some pickup, like giddy up and go. So
Oh,
you can
my-
step
For
on.
sure. Yeah.
My
And-
minivan gets up and goes.
They are retired down in Florida, so they can take all the old people to the events. And so, like you said, getting all your
Oh, yeah,
friends
like-
Well, like
inside
how
of it.
as an adult, like when you want to go do events, everybody's busy and it's like rare that you actually get to go do stuff with people. And having that minivan, like you could get all the guys together to go to a metal
Yeah,
show. We get all
exactly,
the guys together
like-
to do. We used to have a van. We'd take everybody to go on fishing trips and stuff like that. It's like being the guy with the van is actually kind of a cool
Like,
thing.
when
Much
we
more
went
room for activities. And
When we
circle
went to go
jerks.
see
For
Wage
sure.
War, or every single time we went down to Detroit within the last year to go see a show, we've always taken your little C-Max, which gets great gas mileage.
yeah, we can fit 5 people.
But-
We can't fit anything else.
If I was to take my minivan that I have now, I could have literally fit 7 people, fit all their gear and still in the
Yep.
back, and we could watch the movie the entire way down there. Like,
I remember-
Maybe not
entertained.
you, but
I remember our
Well,
first
probably not.
full-size van that we had.
Oh,
When we
man,
were in
that
a
was-
band. We had a VHS player
Yep.
with the one screen. I remember we stopped at Goodwill and bought like Wayne's World and all these.
Yep.
Oh, that was fun stuff. I don't know. I've always been a big fan of vans, minivans or full-size. We've had
Yeah.
a lot of fun with full-size vans. They're great. They're really great for anything. Like I said, hunting, fishing trips, family trips. I don't see anything wrong with owning a van. I never understood or liked the notion of the completely pussy-whipped guy that's like, oh, I got a minivan. It's like, I don't know. I think they're kind of cool.
I like my minivan,
So-
I think it's sick.
I would say not a bitch.
It's got the get up and go when it needs it. I can tow stuff. I can fit a shit ton of
Yeah,
stuff.
why is
in
a
it.
car better than a van when you can tow stuff with a van?
I towed
Yeah.
my
I
jet
never
ski with a
understood
Ford
that.
Taurus.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, but you had a V6 in that.
we hooked we literally like welded some type of rig onto the bottom of Buick LeSabre to tow a trailer before. Probably wasn't, it was what it was.
Surprisingly,
we made it
the
work.
trailer, but
Yeah, it happened. A little bit of know-how.
But if we had a
involved.
minivan, we could have just thrown everything in the back and not even taken a
Yeah,
trailer.
that's because we were in between touring vans at the time.
Yeah,
Remember?
But
Yeah.
like literally, if we had a minivan, because we weren't taking all our gear to go record, we could literally
Yeah.
throw in everything in the back and still the back of the van and
Oh,
still
for
fit,
sure.
fit everybody in the van.
For sure. So, yeah, I would say not a bitch. I think that's about all we have for today, guys. Though we're gonna go into some just chatting here on Twitch. This episode went a little bit long, but hey, you guys learned some history. You guys learned some stuff about beer. I think we're all gonna walk away from today a little bit smarter or a little bit drunker, a little bit of both.
I award you no points.
My God,
no
have
point
mercy on your soul.
in your rambling.
Yeah,
Coherent
I'm
thought.
good at it. That's okay. I'm gonna drink more beer and then it won't matter.
Yep.
I'll
But
next-
everybody
I'll
have a
next
good
use to
night.
ramble.
Please give a follow. Please check us out on YouTube and subscribe there. And
Tell a friend.
You stay classy.
All right. Peace out.
Peace.
See ya.